phrase in Kenya's political circle has now become the referendum. But what exactly is each group pushing for? And what does it all mean for you? Here's Kenyans Ashamwelu with the answers.
Threat to the national government by county bosses in the row of a devolution has now turned into a national debate whether the constitution enacted exactly 3 years ago should be amended in a national referendum. The opinions have come from across the board, and as each day passes, a new dissenting party adds its voice to the referendum debate. Governors want the constitution amended to raise county allocations to 45% of the national budget as opposed to the current 15%.
When I talk about these things, I am not talking as Isaac Ruto because I want anything to do. I am speaking on behalf of the people who live in Machina.
Senators who have seconded the county bosses say a referendum would save devolution. The senators are seeking more power from the constitution, especially on the allocation of revenues to the counties.
If you have a lot of money remaining in the national government, there is no guarantee that that money will be used equitably.
Members of the National Assembly think the Senate is overstepping its mandate. The 11th Parliament has been calling for the complete abolition of the Senate, which would need a referendum.
Hii vitu sio personal. Until munasikia sasa hata Senate, nasema National Assembly inapigana na Senate. Ni kwa sababu katiba is not clear.
The CORD coalition, on the other hand, wants the current presidential system under the constitution scrapped and instead a parliamentary system of electing the head of state to be adopted.
Na support referendum ya kwamba wayumbe wachague president, sio wananchi waambiwa kwamba chagueni hii na hii, kwa sababu wanaungana. Imekuwa ni kateli ukola.
The March 4th movement has also thrown its heart into the ring, pushing for a referendum to replace the current system of electing a president with the electoral college system.
What we are proposing is to go the American way, where the aggregation of the popular vote is not done at the national level, but is done at the county level.
The issue of cutting, pasting, and patching of this new constitution is not also in the urgent interests of the common man right now.
Analysts are also warning that this approach in the push for a referendum could turn sour, heightening political and tribal tensions in the country.
Hatutaki hiyo ni mvurutano. Tutaambia mpaka ndio tuzungumze. Ukikataa sasa shauri yao.
Uchaguzi umeisha, hata bado watu hawajapoa, hawajapumua, hawajatulia. Umeanzisha siasa tena ati sijui unataka referendum. Kwani ulikuwa wapi wakati tulikuwa tunapitisha katiba?
However, unlike Kenya's previous constitution, which was gradually mutilated, the drafters of the Kenyan constitution of 2010 established strong safeguards to deter any rogue political class. For the law to be amended through a referendum, a bill for the amendment has to be first introduced in either the National Assembly or the Senate. A 2/3 majority vote would be needed for the bill to go through. The second option is through a popular initiative. An amendment to the constitution could be proposed by an initiative signed by at least 1 million registered voters. So while divergent views continue to arise on whether or not to go on a referendum, Kenyans will ultimately have the final say. Ashamwelu, KTN, Nairobi.